Remember the days when many people had the same career their entire life? Well, now it's not uncommon for people to have 2 or more careers. But for Dan Goostree of Lebanon, well, the second career is the polar opposite of the first. Here's Teresa Bush to introduce you to a restaurateur turned blacksmith.
Fire is Dan Goostree's best friend. They work together inside his 1,400 square foot shop, forging things from iron and steel. And as you can imagine, it can be a dangerous friendship.
People ask me all the time, do you ever get burnt? Yes, every day I work. One time or another, something's going to happen. When you work the metals, the heat builds up scale on it. And when you're hammering it, the little scale can pop and whatnot.
Despite this occupational hazard, Dan stays focused on why he loves his work.
It's the fact of being able to take a piece of just standard stock steel material and get it really hot and manipulate it into whatever you want it to be. Iron steel moves like clay does when you get it really hot. But when it cools off, it's got to stay there. And it's not going to move again until you get really hot again. There we go.
Dan became a professional blacksmith back in the mid-1990s after spending years in the food service industry. He, along with partners, designed, built, and operated several restaurants in Middle Tennessee. During that time, they hired a blacksmith to make a coat rack. Dan met the man, and that meeting literally changed his life.
I was already into mosaic tiles and things like that. So I said, I want to get some metal work going on now. That's what happened.
Dan gave his partners a 6-month notice and began taking blacksmithing classes, and he has never, ever regretted that decision. If you can dream it, chances are Dan can make it. And if you can't dream it, well, Dan says he will design it for you. And every now and then, he's asked to make things that are truly out of the ordinary, like this cat tree for his girlfriend, Paige, or these 6 feet tall flowers made from forged and fabricated metals.
Sometimes I don't have any purpose at all what I'm going to do. I just come in here and I'll get some industrial materials and I'll get them hot and I'll just start moving them, and I don't really know where they're going to go. They tell me where they want to go. It'll just happen all of a sudden. I'll see a movement and I'll go, well, that's cool. Let's take it a little further now. And that's where you get a lot of excitement. And then you can apply it to things that you haven't seen before because it just kind of invented itself for you.
Because Dan's work calls for metals of all shapes and sizes, he often shops at scrap yards, places where metal remnants and metal objects are taken for recycling. So you could say what is somebody else's trash is quite often Dan's treasure.
I love scrapping, and I love a very weathered material that has a lot of texture to it that Mother Nature put in there for us. But you can't always find those, and it's actually getting even more difficult as the years have gone by because of liabilities and insurance, and a lot of scrap yards won't let you come in there anymore, which is very sad because where some people see scrap, we see stock. I mean, beautiful stock.
That's not slowing Dan down, not one single bit, because he's been stockpiling stock for years. He has hundreds of pieces of metal just lying around waiting to be picked up.
And I've got things that I've done that with, been sitting around here for years, and eventually I may walk by it again and go, I remember that, I'm going to use that right now. I've got time and I've got an idea for it.
Dan has made just about everything you can imagine from metal. Still, his creative juices continue to flow. Lately, he's been adding color to his pieces, like this bike rack at the Nashville Farmers Market. Dan did what he calls the basic painting, and then his girlfriend Paige did all the tiny details. And she helps Dan in the shop from time to time.
She has her own studio, and she stays quite busy herself. So she likes to come out here when the opportunity arises or when I really need her. I say, drop what you're doing, I need you out here, I need some help, you know, and she'll come out and join me.
Dan often thinks about the hustle and bustle of his days in the restaurant business. He does miss it every now and then, and when that happens, he smiles. Because if he had not been in that business, then he most likely would not be a blacksmith today.
I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. I can. I may eventually just have to slow down a little bit, you know. But I don't see ever stopping, you know, until Mother Nature just tells me you're done.